So we have a major problem here in the United States that we have not had in the past. And the problem is likely to impact Social Security, SNAP benefits, child care assistance, affordable housing, and so many more social spending programs. Now, over the past week, I've published several videos talking about the upcoming debt ceiling, which today, on January 19th, 2023, we have hit that debt ceiling. Now, as a result of hitting this debt ceiling, the United States will now take extraordinary measures to ensure that our bills continue to get paid. This includes altering investments into two government-run funds, such as the Civil Service Retirement and Disability Fund, which provides benefits to retired and disabled federal employees. Also, the Postal Service Retiree Health Benefits Fund, which provides Postal Service employees or retirees with health benefits or their premium payments. Right? Now, with the recent news, there's also some more unfortunate news that I must share with you today. Now, the reason why I say that this is a situation and this is a major problem that we have not had in the past, is because at this point, one party or a handful of people from one specific party are threatening to hit that debt ceiling and not increase the debt limit in order to see some of their agenda go through. Now, before we address some of that, I first want to clarify one thing, because one of the questions that I got this morning and I've received, probably a handful of times over the past week or two is, what is the difference between hitting the debt ceiling and a government shutdown? They are the exact same thing. Well, here's the difference. A government shutdown, and that's not what we're talking about here. A government shutdown is when lawmakers can't pass a government funding bill, that omnibus bill or that $1.7 trillion bill that they passed back in, what was it, December? Whenever it was. That bill, okay, that one was really important, because if we didn't see additional government funding, that means the government would have shut down, which simply means Congress can't agree on how much additional funding to give to the government in order to spend. But a debt ceiling is the financial issue that comes up when the U.S. government does not have the ability to borrow any additional money in order to satisfy our current debts. That's the situation that we're in now. So, what is this new unfortunate news that has just come out? Well, here's the thing. We have not had a situation like this, I believe, ever. And so because of that, and again, we've never defaulted on our debts as a nation. So this is a new situation that we're in. But now we're starting to get more people out of the White House and lawmakers and officials and in other capacities. They're now coming out and saying that, well, we have to watch out for this and that and those things. And I want to address what some of those are. According to a White House official, they're now giving us more insights as to what would happen in the event that a debt limit increase is not passed. According to one White House official, they stated that the State Department would have the authority to use extraordinary measures to ensure some debts are paid. The key word here is some debts. Now, they also stated that it would be the sole discretion of the Treasury to choose who doesn't receive payments. And this is where this turns into a major issue. And this is where the problems actually arise. According to one White House official that did not want to be named for obvious reasons, debts to other countries would need to be made first, or it risks the credit worthiness of the United States. Okay. And then they also go on to say that this would likely crash global markets. So making sure that the United States credit worthiness doesn't get impacted, or we don't see a risk there, that is essential. That's key. And then after that, then we could continue to fund social spending programs. And again, this includes things like Social Security, SNAP benefits, child care, affordable housing, health insurance, utility insurance, and so much more. But as this one White House official stated, It would be the sole discretion of the U.S. Treasury to decide which social programs continue to get funding. Now, they could also, and again, I don't know what's going to happen here. Again, this is new territory. We've never been in this situation before. But the Treasury, according to multiple reports that I've read over the past week, the Treasury could also say, you know what? Instead of us giving benefits and funding the big two, which is Social Security and Medicare, instead of just funding those two, why don't we just reduce funding? We will give smaller benefits, but we will give benefits to everybody. This means Social Security, Medicare, there would be SNAP benefits, affordable housing, and child care. They would all receive something. Because think about this for a second, and let me know if you would be impacted in any one of these ways. Let's say you are on affordable housing, right? And your landlord expects that they're going to get X amount of dollars every single month. Some of it's coming from the federal government, whether it's through subsidies or whatever, right? And then the rest is coming from the tenant, which is you. Well, what if they're not getting their money from the federal government? Who do you think they're wanting the payment from? You. Or what about SNAP benefits? You want to make sure you are fed every single month, right? You get some money coming in so you can afford food that is ridiculously expensive, especially eggs. Well, guess what? What if the federal government decides, you know what? We just can't afford to send out these payments. So we're going to reduce payments by 30%. We're only going to send out 70%. You know how many people are going to be impacted by that? You know how much a 30% reduction in food benefits would be? How much that would hurt lower income families? It would be huge. Or what about childcare? You're going into work, but you need to have affordable childcare. Well, maybe the government is giving you some money or free childcare. Guess what? What if they can't afford that? What if they can't do it? What if they suspend that for a certain amount of time? Or they don't give you your full, let's say 5 days a week of childcare. Let's say it's only half the time, only 2.5 days or 2 or 3 days. Guess what? You're going to have to make sure you can take care of your child in some other way. That is the concern. Now, this is why I say social spending is in jeopardy, because it is. If we see the United States go down the path that we are currently on, this is going to be a huge issue for millions of Americans. Just think about how 66 million people are on Social Security. Think about how there's tens of millions of people, tens of millions of people that are on SNAP benefits, right? The I think there's probably over 1 million. I don't remember how many millions, but there's millions of people that are on that do collect child care assistance, right? Again, millions of people that are collecting or on affordable housing. This is a concern. So when I say social spending is in jeopardy, it is because it is. There's no easy way around this. And the problem is things could only get, they might only get worse as we get closer to that X date, when there is absolutely no more money. There's no more using extraordinary measures. The United States is just out of money. There will be a date, they call that the X date. When that does happen, hopefully we will have an agreement. We will either have some spending reduced, we will have the limit pretty much lifted, right? Or we will have an increase. It's going to be one of those things. So as soon as we get more information as to what is going on there, I promise I will fill you in on all the latest news and updates. Again, thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.